Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to Day of the Tentacle. I suppose I should mention at the end of every recording, the hotkeys I use to stop and start a recording involve pressing the shift button and some other keys, and the shift button highlights everything. So you may have seen at the end it goes like this for a second, and wondered about that. And the highlight here is a good way of cheating in case you don't know what to interact with, but you don't really need it with Day of the Tentacle because there's not really that big of an issue. So down to the basement we have Red Edison, and we have a to-do board, and we have a lab coat, and is there anything else here? Let's start with looking at the to-do board.
It's covered with plans and junk.
Right. So if we just give the patent to Red Edison, maybe we can...
He seems
be
busy.
finished. Let's talk to him first.
Hey,
What is it?
you look kind of familiar.
Of course I do. I'm Red Edison, the inventor, not to mention owner of this inn. Perhaps you've seen my picture in some important scientific journal. Then again, maybe not.
Do you know Ben Franklin?
Franklin? I would never associate with that overstuffed goofball. He has the stupidest idea about glasses with one red lens and one blue one.
That's how old 3D movies were done.
What are you doing?
I'm inventing, you simpleton. What's it look like I'm doing?
I know an inventor who looks a bit like you.
Well, it's not one of my sons, that's for sure. It appears that I, Red Edison, foremost genius of my day, am to be the last in a long line of gifted inventors. My nearly indistinguishable sons have decided that they want to be artists. I think it was Jed's idea. Or is it Ned? Ah, well, the left-handed one at any rate. Must be some sort of bad blood on their mother's side.
What are you inventing?
It's a new size-independent fastening mechanism based on circular geometry.
What are you inventing?
It's a new size-independent fastening mechanism based on circular geometry.
I have no idea what that would even be.
Well, see you later.
You might if you cut that hair a bit shorter.
Making a hair joke. Let's give the patent to Red Edison.
Super battery, eh? Brilliant design. Sometimes I amaze myself. Now all I need is oil, vinegar, and some gold.
So I've given him the patent, and wine bottle I can make into vinegar, but I would need some oil and some gold. Wait, before I leave though, there was something else we could do here. I just noticed this left-handed hammer. We need that.
Hey, that's a left-handed hammer, you know. I invented it myself. It was for my ungrateful slob of a left-handed son. Oh, well.
Let's see, is there anything else in this room? Let's go pick up the lab coat.
Hey! Only employees are allowed to use that lab coat.
Interesting.
It looks more like a raincoat than a lab coat.
Interesting. So back through the door. And back through this door. And let's see. We have a smoke detector, which is a bird.
It's a little cage with a canary in it, perched above a little lever. Huh.
So, whenever the bird sees smoke, he's gonna escape. He's gonna make noise there, and Here's John Hancock.
Must have poor circulation. Yo,
Hello?
what's up? You cold?
Cold? I'm freezing.
So John Hancock. So why don't you put on a coat? Why don't you build a fire? Why don't you drink some hot coffee?
Why don't you build a fire?
Well, I keep asking Jefferson to build a fire, but he won't. Says he needs the log for posterity and won't part with it.
He's gonna give the log to starving children?
He's going to give the log to starving children?
I don't get any respect around here. Why, I bet if George I spent the winter in Valley Forge, Washington was cold, we'd get some heat in here.
What are you guys doing in here?
We're writing
We're drafting a constitution for the United States.
Don't say draft, you'll only make me colder.
Wimp.
Wimp.
Why don't you have some hot coffee?
Oh, I can't stand coffee. It
I'm not
makes
sure
me irritable
coffee
and want to bang my
existed
head against the
200
walls.
years ago.
Have you tried decaffeinated coffee?
I'm talking about decaf.
Interesting. So we found coffee and decaffeinated coffee in the present times. So maybe we'll use some of that.
Shouldn't you guys be working instead of just sitting there?
Writer's block. We can't think of any amendments or anything, so we put a suggestion box over there. I don't suppose you have any brilliant ideas?
Free sandwiches, no music in elevators. You can guarantee the right to free speech. Yeah, that's a good one.
You could guarantee the right to free speech.
Free speech? No, that'll never work.
How come you sign your name so big?
How come you sign your name so big?
Astigmatism.
Astigmatism is, of course, an eye short. It's like you need glasses for astigmatism. It's your eyes lenses aren't right.
You mean you have like a childhood complex?
All right. The truth is that a friend once told me that women go crazy over guys with a big signature.
Awesome blanket there, dude.
Thank you. It was given to me by my dear old colorblind Aunt Hattie.
Well, I gotta go, dude.
So here we have a time capsule.
It looks like a martini shaker.
We have Thomas Jefferson and we have a log.
It's big, it's heavy, it's wood.
We have a gold-plated quill pen. And let's look at Thomas Jefferson.
If I had a nickel for every time I've seen that face.
And here's George Washington. Of course, Thomas Jefferson is on the nickel.
Hey, tall, dark, and spiffy, my name's Hoagie.
Well, how quaint. I am, of course, Thomas Jefferson, noted scholar, musician, horseman, student of the sciences, member of the bar.
Oh, sure, I've heard of you, dude. What's in the can, Tommy?
Thomas. My name is Thomas, and this, my chubby friend, is a time capsule, filled with remembrances of our time to be revealed 400 years hence.
400 years.
So, how's the time capsule going?
I'm sorry to say that except for my log, we haven't got a thing.
Dude, is that like the Constitution?
Right now, it's just a constitution, I'm afraid. We hit a slight creative block right after the preamble. That's why we put up a suggestion box over there.
Interesting.
Could you start a fire, please?
I'd love to oblige you, young man, but I can't. This is the only log, and I'm saving it for posterity.
How can you let Hancock suffer like that?
A real man is warmed by the fires of his spirit. You should listen to Washington relate his experiences at Valley Forge and take heed.
Has anyone ever told you you're a very snappy dresser?
Why, yes. I studied at Virginia Coat and Technical, where I majored in color theory. I was captain of the varsity cravat team.
Those are impressive credentials, Tom.
Thomas.
Dude, I loved your work on the Declaration of Independence.
Ah, thank you. What was your favorite part?
I like the part about prudence. I like those S's that look like F's. I like the we the part, people part. Let's talk about prudence.
I like the part about prudence.
Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should.
Yeah, there's just one thing, though.
Yes?
Who's Prudence?
Never mind.
Well, later, dude.
What? What's going to happen later?
So, let's see if we can grab the golden quill.
Hey, keep your hands off that.
So we have George Washington, and knows he's taking his teeth out when he smokes every now and then. Let's see. And let's look at the Constitution.
They don't seem to have gotten too far.
Let's grab the Constitution.
You can look, but don't touch.
And let's take the log.
Sorry, I'm saving it. It's going to be a famous log.
And he's looking out the window, see his teeth there.
Cool view of the outhouses.
So let's talk to George Washington after looking at him.
He looks oddly familiar. Excuse me.
Ironically, none of these people actually look that much
Yes.
like who they're supposed to represent.
Whoa, you're
that's
like
kinda
George
cool
Washington.
in its own
Very
way
much
of
like
doing
him,
things.
according to my wife, Mrs. Washington. Does Mrs. Washington know you wear so much makeup?
One must wear makeup when one receives the phenomenal amount of media attention that I do. It's quite likely that I'll be president soon, you know. Do you think I should be the ecology president or the education president?
Depends on how many cherry trees you've dropped down. Let's see. Ecology. I don't even know what that means.
I'm a big fan of education.
Really? How surprising.
Cold enough for you?
Cold? Why, you don't know the meaning of the word. I spent a winter at Valley Forge. Now that was cold. Why, my spit would freeze before it hit the ground.
Cool.
Extremely.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Let's see. Is it true that you have wooden teeth?
Do you really have wooden teeth?
As a matter of fact, I do make use of artificial teeth. I find them to be far superior to the ordinary enamel variety.
Wow, what do you brush them with?
I use a toothbrush, much like everyone else, and a bit of wood polish, of course.
Doesn't that taste awful?
Not if you take them out first.
Don't you have a problem with splinters? I've been to war, boy. No one who's heard the thunder of musket fire, smelled the sulphur from a cannon blast, and felt the fear in the hearts of his comrades is going to be bothered by a little thing like, oh, blast it.
Well, what about dry rot?
Hardly.
My Uncle Henry has false teeth, too.
Fascinating, I'm sure.
What are you looking at out there?
That went nowhere.
The future of our nation.
Those outhouses? The young couple by the tree?
That young couple by the tree?
No. I was just admiring my reflection in the window. Striking, aren't I?
Let's ask about the cherry tree.
Is it true about you and the cherry tree?
Oh, yes, it's quite true. Why, I've cut down acres of cherry trees in my day.
Would you give me a demonstration?
I bet you've lost it. You couldn't cut down a tree to save your grandmother.
Lost it, have I? Why, I'd show you a thing or two if there were a cherry tree nearby. But as you can see, there isn't. I only cut down cherry trees. Family tradition, you understand. Cherries only. There's nothing out there but cedar and kumquats.
I see. So he won't chop down a kumquat tree. So let's take this wine bottle and see if we can use it with the time capsule.
Thank you. This is exactly the sort of thing I need for the time capsule. I'll bury it tonight, and it won't be seen for hundreds of years. Future generations are in your debt.
Why would you do a time capsule for 400 years? That's a really long time. Let's see if we can grab
Sorry,
the log.
I'm saving it.
Nope, can't.
It's going to be a famous log.
Let's see what's behind this swing door. We have a water pump, but we don't really have anything that would work with a water pump. And we have some oil, we needed that. Spaghetti, we'll take that. And let's open the pantry and see.
I can't open it.
Let's pick it
No
up.
way could I pick that up.
There we go. So maybe we'll try the spaghetti with the pump.
I don't wanna.
Nope, you don't wanna. You'll get a lot of that if you try some crazy things, but I'm mostly trying to stay on the path as much as I remember of it. I haven't played this game in a while, but it's not incredibly difficult to figure out. Pick up this brush. Mostly it starts with just collecting everything, and then once you've collected everything, you start to realize, oh, this item I picked up an hour ago would make sense now. Or sometimes it's as simple as finding a bucket and using it with a water pump right now. It just gulps out a thing of water. So I have a brush with the
Nothing to
bucket of water,
clean in here.
which means I could probably clean the car, well, the carriage outside. But meanwhile, it's 400 years later.
Get me down from here!
So we haven't made any progress about getting her down, and because of that, we're gonna get that same response every single time. I think he has a hole in the back of his pants. Interesting. Yeah, it's either a tag or a hole. So let's see. If I use the can opener with the toilet, I don't think that would work. Nor do I think that's something I specifically want to do right now. let's use the red paint with the kumquat tree. And now the cherries.
Looks better now.
So back we go to the inn. And if we have George Washington chop down the cherry tree, then there's no tree for her to be stuck in 400 years later. All of a sudden it makes sense what we're doing. So we come back and have another discussion with them.
Excuse me. Yes? I've been thinking about what you said about cherry trees. Pondering the great truths, eh? Well, would you give me a demonstration? I don't see why I should.
So you won't do it if you
I've
just
been
ask.
thinking about what you said about cherry trees. Pondering the great truths, eh? Well,
So we gotta bait him into it.
I bet you've lost it. You couldn't cut down a tree to save your grandmother.
lost it, have I? Why, I'd show you a thing or two if there were a cherry tree nearby. But as you can see, oh, well, what do you know? There is a cherry tree out there. Well, let's go chop the sucker down.
Pulls out an axe he's just holding on to. And in one
I
swoop.
said come down from there at once!
Try to understand. I'm stuck in this.
Voila!
You're quite a man.
Yes, I know.
So she's now down, and we can now start working with her. And we have 7 items to interact with here. And we can look at the
Scratch one kumquat tree.
So there's really only like one thing I can even think of doing in this area, because there's several things we still need. We need to find the gold quill somehow. We need to move the left-handed hammer, swap that for the right-handed hammer, but we could do that later. We probably need soap for the bucket of water to wash the car. We probably are going to end up giving the can opener to somebody else. The red paint probably not going to get used again, or if it is used again, I don't see where. And the oil, I don't think we're going to do anything with that either. So for a little while at least, we are done with this guy's story, and we can start moving forward, and that is what we will do in the next recording. That's going to be it for this recording. We've probably unlocked a decent amount of concept art, but I think we'll just leave it all alone until later, till we end the series, or we finish the game. We won't probably even end the series there, because I want to go see what the developer's commentary is like, and I think we could get through the whole game rather quickly once we know the exact actions to take. Anywho, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name, Rydo, and on the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.